As you can see behind me, the pool is open. Hi, I'm Jen from JenThereDoneThat, and we're on week 12 of island-wide lockdown here in Puerto Rico. Except, as I said in last week's video, we're not really on lockdown anymore, at least not from a business and tourist standpoint anymore. As you can see behind me, the pools are open, the hotel is packed. Starting June 1st, all of the hotels, or most of the hotels, we're starting to take reservations again and allow guests. So this hotel behind me is the Wyndham in Palmas del Mar in Humacao, and it is pretty well packed. This is the most people we've seen in months and months. The pool is open, guests are here, there are the mask and social distancing protocols, and people are adhering to them. The biggest change this week is more and more restaurants and businesses reopening, including the pools. The community pools are going through that certification process and they're able to reopen, so that's really good news. If you're trying to book flights right now, you'll see that Delta isn't even really flying to the island at all. I couldn't find any flights in the next 2 weeks in San Juan. JetBlue and American are your best options for US-based flights. I was just looking on those to see kind of what the flights are looking like. So they're very limited flights, and it looks like because of the limited flights, you're going to be packed in there. So double check your flights if you're planning on coming to the island. The island protocols when you enter San Juan are the same as last week. I've got a lot of friends that came in, or they're coming back to the island, visiting the island, etc. And the protocol is they take your temperature with the laser gun. If your temperature is below a certain temperature, then you do not need to take the blood test, but you can choose to take the blood test at the airport. There is, I believe they're still saying it's the 2-week mandatory quarantine, but it's not being enforced, especially if you test negative for the antibody blood test and you have the lower temperature. They are taking your contact information, where you're staying, your name, that type of information, just to track you. But I don't really see them doing any sort of tracking. I think it's just they're recording it to check the box. As far as tourism is concerned, most things are starting to reopen. I've actually booked a boat trip for next week, so we'll be going out to Cayo Icacos for a day of sailing and snorkeling, so that's resumed. More and more of the tourism and the tour guides are reopening where they can at half or limited capacity, maintaining good social distancing. There are no buffets, so if it was something that would normally have a buffet meal, they're doing packaged lunches, packaged breakfast, that type of thing. But largely things are resuming. Obviously you can't go to the movie theater and all of our casinos are still closed, but more and more of the amenities are opening and reopening, and a lot more of the restaurants are starting to reopen. So yeah, we're starting to get back to normal. That said, we still have our 7 p.m. curfew every day, and limited businesses are open on Sunday. So Sunday's still a ghost town around here, but the churches have their protocols to reopen church services. So starting this Sunday, we're going to see a lot more churches reopening and having their services. The guests behind me definitely have the right idea. It's a little warm outside, and being in the pool sounds perfect. And it is absolutely a gorgeous day here in Puerto Rico. And the golf courses are open right behind me, so you can do your beachfront golfing. Behind me is the Palmas del Mar Tennis Center, and this is the largest tennis center in the Caribbean. It's allowed to be open now, but it's not open because they haven't completed all of their protocol certification. So it's a matter of time. This should be hopefully another few days, but this will be open shortly. It's allowed to be open. They just need to complete the government red tape. Speaking of red tape, this is the tennis center grill. It was completely destroyed by Hurricane Maria in 2017. They have rebuilt it, and now it's still closed because of the government shutdown and the inability to get the certifications and everything that they need to be able to reopen. So that's just one of the other impacts from the government being shut down during this entire island-wide lockdown. Things like businesses that are trying to get their permits cannot. So there's only one restaurant that I know of that's been able to reopen during the island-wide lockdown, and that's because they had all of their permits in place before lockdown began in March. All the other places that were waiting on permits or applying for permits, they've been at a dead stop waiting for the government to reopen. Hopefully next week is what we're hearing, June 8th, but who knows? Landscapers are working hard to make sure that everything looks absolutely perfect for your visit. And you'll see behind me the big, red, beautiful tree is a flamboyant, and they bloom all through summer. It's one of my favorite things about summer is our bright red and orange and yellow flamboyants. And no matter what time of year it is, one of the best things about living on a tropical island is that there's always something in bloom. I love these little pink blooms behind me, and they just are here for a very short period of time in the summer, but it looks like little pink snowfall on the ground after a little bit of a breeze. It's just beautiful. Beaches are open for exercising, but as you can see, there's no one out here. And really, if you're sitting on a beach chair, just enjoying yourself, good social distancing from the no one else that is here, security and law enforcement are just gonna leave you alone. You'll also notice that here on the east coast of Puerto Rico, we already have the nasty sargassum seaweed. It's the nasty brown stuff you see along the beach. There are spots that are still our beautiful white sand beaches, or they've been cleaned and maintained, but the majority of the beaches on the east coast currently have this seaweed. So we're really happy that the pools are finally reopened, because this is not the most pleasant thing on the island, just to be aware. And there's security patrolling the beach now. Nice guy. He's pretty much leaving everyone alone because there's only 3 of us on this entire stretch of beach. And up there is actually nice white sand beach that doesn't have the seaweed on it, so that's the spot that you want to be at right now. Behind me is another portion of the golf course. So as you can see, even though we're still on lockdown here in Puerto Rico, things are opening. The hotels, pools, golf courses, and soon tennis courts are reopening, and we're ready for tourists. Just be safe, respectful, and wear your mask at all times when you're out in public or inside. And they will have hand sanitizer and a temperature check protocols, and of course maintain your good social distancing when you're visiting the island. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe for more videos from Jen There, Done That.